the story of Rabbi Eliezer ben Hurkenos the Tana, part 1. We'll begin with the story as follows. Rabbi Eliezer, when he was the age of 28 years old, this is the version we're going to follow from the Pyrkei of Eliezer. So, what happened was his father had a business which required plowing the fields, and his father had workers plowing the softer land, the softer soil, but he put Rabbi Eliezer specifically to plow the harder soil, because evidently, we'll see later on, Eliezer actually was a strong man. So one day, the father saw Eliezer crying on the field. And he asked him, why is it that you're crying? Is it because you're working on the harder field? I could put you on the softer field. And that's what he did. He put him on the softer field. But he realized that his son was still crying, even after putting him to work on the hard field, on the softer fields rather. So he asked him, do you not want to work on the softer field? In other words, do you not want to work at all? Plow at all? So Eliezer responded, no, that is not the case. It's not that I don't want to work. So he said, okay, why don't are you crying then? So he said, because I am requesting to learn Torah. I want to learn Torah. So the father told him, but you're already 28 years old, right? At such a late age, if you haven't learned yet, it's not going to work out for you. I have a better idea for you, says the father. You want to do something with your life, you feel meaningless, go get yourself a wife and have kids, have a family. And at least those kids, you could take them to learn, to start to the house of study. At that point, Rabbi Eliezer decided, I don't know if he decided or was by default, there's different explanations as to what exactly happened, but it turned out that he didn't eat anything for 2 whole weeks. And at that point, after 2 weeks, Eliyahu Hanavi, Zocher Latov, revealed himself to him. Imagine, from fasting for 2 weeks and being in such a state of, he was broken, and he wanted to learn Torah so badly, he even managed to reach this degree, even though he never learned much. And Eliyahu Hanavi told him, the son of Hurkenos, why are you crying? Because I want to learn Torah, responded Eliezer. If you want to learn Torah, so go to Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, who is in Yerushalayim, said Eliyahu Hanavi. So that's exactly what Eliezer did. He went all the way up to Yerushalayim to Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. And he sat in front of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai and he cried. Why are you crying? Asked Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. So responds Eliezer, because I want to learn Torah. Whose son are you? Asked Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. But Eliezer did not respond. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai asked him, did you never learn in your whole life how to say Kriyat Shema, Tefillah, the prayer, and neither Birchas Hamazon? No, responded Eliezer. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said, get up, and I will teach you all 3. But Eliezer continued to cry, just sit there and cry. So Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said, why are you crying? So he told him, because I want to learn Torah. In other words, this is not enough for me. I want more. So Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai decided to teach him just 2 halachas, 2 ideas in Torah. And Eliezer, the whole week, would repeat over to himself these 2 halachas, these 2 ideas, and he literally cleaved to these ideas completely. That's all he did. That's all he thought about for just that whole week, just 2 halachas. And after that, for 8 days, he did not eat anything. Rabbi Eliezer didn't eat anything, to the extent there's a Medrash Rabbah even says it seems that he might have even eaten earth, which is horrible for you. To the extent that what happened was eventually he smelled so bad, the smell from his mouth was so bad, that Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was able to recognize this. And right away, he made sure to call him over. And he made sure that, he would stay away from him because he couldn't handle the smell. So Eliezer was crying because of this. So Rabbi Yochanan realized, and he asked, "Why are you crying?" So Eliezer said, "Because you moved me away from yourself like somebody who pushes away people who are diseased, with boils and different types of skin diseases that it's recognizable and people don't want to be around that." So Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said to Eliezer, he said, "Just like the smell from your mouth came to me, so too the smell of the laws of Torah should go from your mouth to the heavens." Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai asked him, Tell me, you didn't tell me yet, whose son are you?" So Eliezer responded, "I am the son of Hurkenos." Said Rabbi Yochanan, "Aren't you the son of great people?" Because his father, Hurkenos, was actually known to be a very rich philanthropist. "So why didn't you tell me about this?" says Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai even wanted to show him some respect. He said, "Today you're going to eat by me. I want to have the kavod, the respect, the honor of feeding you." So Eliezer responded, "But I already ate by my hosts." So Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai asked him, "Who are your hosts?" Or who is your host? So responded Eliezer, "My hosts are actually Rabbi Yeshua, the son of Hananiah, and Rabbi Yosef HaKoyen." Now these two people were also Talmidim, students of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, and eventually became also big Nisiim, big leaders on their own. Rabbi Yeshua, for example, Rabbi Yeshua ben Hananiah actually is throughout the Talmud, throughout the Mishnah actually, he's referred to as just Rabbi Yeshua, simply, according to Rashi. So Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, realized there was something fishy over here. So he decided to send messengers to the hosts and ask them if he actually ate something. And the response came back was that he actually didn't eat anything. So there's actually a halachic question how this was possible that Rabbi Eliezer was allowed to lie, but that's for a separate discussion. If you want to know more about that, maybe I'll make a video about it. Let us a comment. But let's continue with the story. So the hosts, responded that basically he didn't eat anything for 8 days already. And that's where we're going to leave off for this story for now. This is, stay tuned for part 2.